ask you this, Stephen A. How important is it for the Packers to beat the Bucs in Tampa on Sunday?
Well, listen, because it's Aaron Rodgers, it's not that important. Because when you're that great, and he is great, the fact of the matter is that you're going to overcome, just bad circumstances. He's absolutely right with what he said on the show with McAfee, who, by the way, I'm very proud to have as a part of the network doing College Football Game Day. That's a welcomed addition to that show, as great as those guys are. Pat McAfee, my props to you, my brother. Welcome to the family in that regard. That's a great, great role for him, and it's well-deserved. I would tell you that when you look at Aaron Rodgers, he's just been around too long. He's accomplished too much. And we've seen throughout the years Green Bay struggle, and then they go on like a 6 or 7 game winning streak or what have you. These are not things that are foreign to Aaron Rodgers. I would tell you it would be a bad look, and it wouldn't lend itself towards us having a lot of confidence in a Green Bay team that seemed ill-equipped to beat a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with Tom Brady not looking like himself, with Mike Evans suspended, with Chris Godwin still injured, with Rob Gronkowski retired, with Julio Jones still trying to get himself meshed in with that Tampa Bay offense. If you were to lose to this Tampa Bay team, it would not be a good look. There would be vulnerabilities there that we would point out, and even though we believe that it wouldn't affect them overall during the regular season, it would give us cause to pause about what they're going to do during the postseason. But it's not going to affect them getting to the postseason or anything like that. This is Aaron Rodgers' squad, and if anybody can find a way during the regular season to handle their business, it is Aaron Rodgers. Win, lose, or draw.
Oh, my God. The question is, how important is this game? It's vitally
And I said it wasn't that important.
It is important. What are you talking about is not important? First of all, the overreaction last year was warranted by Aaron Rodgers saying everybody overreacted after the Saints game. This year it is warranted. What did we spend time all offseason talking about with the Green Bay Packers? The receiving core, how would this offense look, minus Devontae Adams. And the first week of the season, it showed that he wasn't there. I believe that Aaron Rodgers and this team will continuously get better as the season goes along. But let me remind you, Stephen A. Smith, you and I agreed on this when we talked about the Green Bay Packers. We are not judging them by getting to the playoffs. We are not judging them by winning a playoff game. We are judging them by going and winning a Super Bowl, because of everything that's transpired up until this exact moment has been about them winning a championship. It's vitally important. The second reason it's vitally important is because now you're playing against a team that you're probably going to see later on. You're playing against a team that's probably going to be somewhere in the playoffs, if it works itself out, that you may have to see and face. Here's the deal when it comes to Green Bay. And Doggy can agree with this. We can all three agree with this before we start fighting. Nobody has had a question about Aaron Rodgers' ability. No one has had a question if Aaron Rodgers is going to play well. Our questions have been, is this team around him, in the absence of Devontae Adams, good enough to do what they have positioned themselves to do when they had Devontae Adams? Now, here's the other part of this, right? And you mentioned it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are working from deficiency right now. The Green Bay Packers aren't. Outside of David Bakhtiari, their left tackle, not playing, they're working with all of the guys that they're counting on as the season goes forward. First game didn't have all your wide receivers available. Lazard wasn't available. The first game you didn't get Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon going in that game, which is going to have to be the strong suit of this football team for the time being until they can get it going. But all of this talk about stop overreacting about what happened this year in comparison to last year, this is not the same team. And the things that we talked about and were concerned about is what we saw the first week of the season, and might I add, again the second week of the season. We are judging the Packers being back off beating the Chicago Bears. Everybody's comfortable with what the Packers did against the Chicago Bears. This the first real litmus test of the season. Go ahead, Doggy. It's very important.
I think that I'm in between the both of you. And by the way, since we're throwing accolades to McAfee, how about a little accolade to Herb Street? He did a heck of a job that Thursday night game on Amazon with Al. Very good. He did a nice job. That's a tricky spot for him. Some pressure, people paying
here's
attention.
the miracle.
He did a good job.
Here's the miracle.
What's
the
that?
fact that you're complimenting a commentator for one of these games. No one insults these guys more than you. I mean, have you ever heard Mad Dog on radio with Swagu? I mean, did you listen to these guys? I mean, my God. I mean, just talking. I mean, can we watch the game and be for crying out loud?
Oh, my God.
This is what he does. This is what
you do anything?
Big deal that you did.
All you do is listen. I mean, you got the opener of the show. Is everybody alive out there? You're doing the Herbster. What are you doing in L.A.? Don't have a cocktail. Do something. Oh, my God.
Tama, I can assure you.
I know what he's doing.
I've had cocktails.
He's having a good time.
I can assure you. I mean, don't get it twisted. I mean, I've had quite a good time here in L.A. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you have.
And I'm in between the both of you. I think that, you just can't say, well, it doesn't mean anything because Tampa's a very good team. And I also agree with Marcus, who says, you know what, the Chicago Bears, who cares about the Chicago Bears? I got to see more from Green Bay as well. They did not play well against Minnesota. Their receivers have not been great. They were not enlightening against Chicago there on Sunday night. I know the running game was very good, but the Bears played right into their hands. I am not convinced. Now, it's a bad division, so they're going to win that division. But, I mean, as far as the upper echelon, this is when you talk about Green Bay, you don't talk about them beating Detroit, Chicago, where they're going to stand. You talk about them with Tampa. You talk about them with the Rams. You talk about them with the better Kansas City.
Yes.
You talk about who they're going to play later in the year. You talk about Buffalo, who they're also going to play later in the year on the road. When you talk about the Packers, that is where you put them on that level. Not, how they play against the Bears or how they look against Detroit. No, you look about the better teams. Now they got a better team, depleted, a lot of bad receivers, banged up Tampa. If you're Green Bay, you don't have to go down there and win, but you can't get blown out in the game.
I play well, yeah.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.